So I know a few weeks ago, Daisy and I did a whole wedding Q&A where we talked about how we planned and things like that, but I thought today I could get into all the little details of how we planned our entire wedding, because I know we didn't talk about like where we got our flowers or how we decided to do the table placements and all of that. So I thought today I would go through literally every single detail of how we planned our wedding and give you all the inside scoop. If you are looking for help with a bigger wedding, this is probably not your video. We did a super small wedding, so that's what I'm gonna be talking about today. And I'm just gonna go down this list that I made that has every single thing from what website we used to plan to the vendors we chose and like every single thing in between. So let's just jump straight into it and talk about the website that we used. We used Zola to plan our wedding, and basically it had everything from the checklist to how you could do your seating chart and everything like that. So we used it to build our website, which is where we sent our invitations. We didn't have physical invitations. We literally just sent everybody the website and they could RSVP there. They could find the directions, they could find our registry and hotels, anything that they were really looking for, anything that our guests could think of was gonna be on that website, and we did it all through Zola. We had our checklist on Zola. It helped me kind of figure out what I needed to do, because I didn't even think of like those little things like a guest book for people to write you a little note in, or literally any of those things until I saw it on the list. And it was so helpful to have an already made list, and if I needed to add anything I could, if I needed to take anything off I could. So having a pre-made list was really, really helpful. We also did our registry through Zola. We just thought it was simple to have everything all together. On Zola, they have the option to do a cash fund or to do specific products. We didn't want anything sent to our house, so we made different cash funds for different things that we wanted, like the coffee machine that you guys saw. We really wanted a coffee machine, so we put that on there and then just had a cash fund for it, just because we're super nervous about things being sent to our house, because I think if you watch my videos, you know I live in a really busy area, and so it's not always safe to send stuff to our house because things can get stolen or lost or whatever. So we just decided cash fund was way better, and so that's what we went with. We also did our guest list on the app. You can send emails through there. We just sent text messages to everyone. It was easier for us, but if you have everyone's email, you can send messages through Zola, which is super cool, and I think helpful if you want to send like a mass message to everybody, especially if you have a bigger wedding. That would be really helpful. We did our guest list on there and our seating chart on Zola. The Zola seating chart is actually really cool because you can move people around, and if people are couples, you can actually group them together so that when you move them around, they still move around together. It's really cool. I would highly recommend the Zola app and website for wedding planning. So the next thing, after we started making the guest list and all of that, we had to think about a location, and our initial idea was to do something even smaller than what we did. So we were thinking of going to Santa Barbara for our wedding and doing just at the courthouse, and then as we were planning, we're like, oh, I really want this person to be there, and it just kind of developed. It turned into a little bit bigger than we expected, so we didn't do it in Santa Barbara, but that was our initial thought. And then as I was talking to certain people, I was like, okay, I think we're gonna need a bigger space. So then we thought about doing a backyard like Airbnb thing, because we knew we still wanted it to be small. And then I talked to my gay dads, Javi and Mark, and they were like, we got married in our backyard, you should do it here. It just made so much sense to do it there, so we decided to go with Javi and Mark's backyard, which is what you saw in all the pictures, and it was seriously beautiful. They spent so much time the past few years making their backyard so gorgeous, so it really turned out to be everything that we wanted, and we got lucky with being able to do it in our friend's backyard. So that rounded up the location, and it made it really simple and easy to plan everything else. On to our outfits. The way we planned out our outfits was kind of whatever we felt like. I am not super like glamorous and like glitz and glam and bedazzlement and all that, so I knew what I wanted for a wedding dress. I wanted something super simple in the cut and shape that I would normally wear if I was going to wear a dress. So I literally got that. I looked online for, you know, simple, clean, chic wedding dresses or whatever, and I found one that I really liked. The website, I was able to put in my measurements, so I just measured myself and I didn't have to do any alterations afterwards because it was already custom fit to my body. So yeah, I just found a really simple wedding dress that suited my style. I knew I wanted a low back, I knew I wanted spaghetti straps, and I knew I wanted kind of like a cowl neck front and a slit, and that was what I got. It was perfect. For Daisy, she went back and forth with a few different styles that she wanted, and finally figured out that she really wanted to do a super nice blazer and some really nice loafers, and that was like her style and everything. And as you saw, she got some really pretty Prada loafers and a super nice velvet and satin blazer. It was really pretty. Her pieces she kind of found individually for what she wanted, and she just searched around. I think initially she knew she wanted the Prada loafers, and that was like her big piece because, you know, she didn't have a wedding dress. That was kind of her wedding dress piece. So that's how we chose our outfits. We kind of just knew what we wanted. As far as shoes went, I chose like a strappy sandal because I wanted to be able to dance around all night and not have to take off my shoes and be that girl on my wedding night. So I chose something that I knew was going to be comfortable to wear the entire night, and that's how I chose my shoes. Okay, on to colors. And if you watch our last Q&A video about the wedding, you know how we chose our color. I let her choose the color. She really wanted like an orangey color to be incorporated, and it turned out perfect. It fit really well. Yeah, that's how we chose our color. I just kind of let Daisy do it. Next up is how we chose our wedding date. So this is super random. We had our wedding on a Wednesday. Yes, I know that's very odd, but it all actually came down to when her dad was going to be in town. Her family was already coming into town, and so choosing the date was actually super easy. It just had to be during the week because that's when her dad was gonna be here. Just worked out for both of our families. So yeah, that's how we chose our wedding day. So next up is all the decor, the flowers, and all of that stuff, and the vendors. So I will jump into our flowers. So like I said, we chose this like kind of burnt, rusty orange as our color, and terracotta. It was like in between terracotta and like rust orange. I don't know. So that was the colors that we chose, and initially we didn't really know what we were gonna do about flowers, but Javi and Mark were so helpful, and they, as a wedding gift, gave us our flowers for the tables. So they got a bunch of arrangements ready for the tables, and then they also told us about a flower market here in LA. So it's like wholesale flowers. In the morning, Daisy, my sister, and Daisy's mom and I all went to the flower market, I think the day before the wedding. Yeah, the day before the wedding, and picked out all the flowers for the arch and for like any other sort of like arrangements. It was really easy to do. You just go in, buy all your flowers, and then we bought buckets and put them in buckets of water so that they'd stay alive for the next day. And then the arch, we actually just got on Amazon. It was just like a flower arch. Our families put together the arch morning of the wedding. So it actually turned out really, really good. And I was so shocked because when they started doing it, I was like, oh no, oh no. But it turned out so pretty, like honestly better than I could even imagine. Next up are the bouquets. The bouquets, our friend Claire actually works at a really beautiful high-end like flower place, and so she made our bouquets, and they were so gorgeous. I actually still have the dried flowers from the bouquets. I took them out, and now we have like a really beautiful bouquet of dried flowers. That's how we got our bouquets. We got lucky with that as well. One little tip is, if you don't know where to start with your wedding, ask for help, because people are gonna help you. People wanna help you for your wedding, and there's so many people that have like connections with different things, and you never know if someone like knows someone that does bouquets or knows someone that has a restaurant or like whatever. Like ask around, and people are totally down to help. Next up are the decorations and signage and stuff like that. So for our signage, we used Vistaprint. We had a bunch of acrylic signs like this. This is our cocktail list, but we also had a welcome sign, and we had a seating chart that was all made out of this acrylic material, and we just designed them on Vistaprint. Our seating chart was the last thing that needed to be done, and it was probably 5 days before the wedding, I ordered the seating chart and it came in time. I like rush ordered it, but it did come in time. So if you're looking for signage, I think Vistaprint is really good, and Signage like on a whim, like they're very good if you do the rush shipping. That is what we got for our signage. And then also on Vistaprint, we got our like itinerary or whatever this is called, the day of schedule. We made these cards so that when people walked in, they knew what was going on. This was on everyone's seat for the ceremony so that they knew what was going on. So we have like the schedule, the wedding party, and everything like that. Yeah, we got these done there, and they match all of the acrylic signs. And then we also had a game, and this was Daisy or Alanah, and it was like, I cook more often, I read more, I hate bananas, like those type of things. And then we had a little game going on during the cocktail hour, and everyone could kind of like choose, and then the winner got like a prize. That was what we got at Vistaprint. And then for our napkins, we got these really cute napkins made. And this I also did like on a whim. It was like a last minute addition, and they actually got here in time. It says Alanah and Daisy and then the date with a little heart. I got these at 24hourwristbands.com. I was completely nervous to order from them because I was like, what is this random website? I literally just Googled custom napkins and that website came up, but they came out really great. I love them, and it was super easy to make, and they came, I think I got these made like a week before the wedding, and they came in time. Definitely would recommend those. For our little gift for our guests, we made these matchboxes. They just say our names and the date, and they're in the color. We got these at Zazzle.com. I would also recommend them. I think they have like really cool stuff for weddings. They have like tons of different guest gifts, and they have cards and stuff like that. So Zazzle was a really cool website to order from as well. I did order name cards, like place cards for the tables at Vistaprint, but we didn't really like them. So we had Javi, my boss and like the owner of the house, actually make some, and he just printed them out. So this is what our name cards looked like. And that was just our place cards for the table. And they came out perfect, super simple, and I think really, really cute. Because the original ones were actually the color of our wedding, and the color was just super off. It was kind of like more red than orange, so we didn't go with that. And then the napkins we got are these ones. I just ordered these online. I just looked up terracotta napkins, and these ones came up, and we got a bunch of them. They're really pretty and cute, and now we have literally so many napkins. I don't know what to do with them, but I don't want to throw them away. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with these. For dishes and cups, Javi actually situated all of that. But then for our seats and like tables and stuff like that, we used a company in Burbank called Rental Avenue, and we just rented everything from them. They have tons of stuff if you're in like the LA area. They also deliver if you have a party over like 100. Ours was way smaller than that, so we actually had to rent a U-Haul and go pick up all of the stuff we rented from them, but it wasn't bad. It was super easy, and they actually load up the truck for you, so it wasn't bad at all. But yeah, they're great. They're in Burbank, and they have tons of stuff to choose from. They have different tables, they have different chairs, they have dishes and glasses and literally everything. So if you're in the LA area, I would recommend Rental Avenue. They're great, and great prices as well. Next thing that we got were 2 9-inch cakes. We got just their classic white frosting with a sprinkle cake. It was so good. We got them from Susie Cakes. We got 2 of them, and then one of them was cut up in the back and ready for everybody to eat, while the other one was the one that we actually cut ourselves as like our first cake cutting. Mark, who is also the owner of the house, he decorated the cake with fresh flowers and beautiful sprinkles and stuff like that. And then also we added this to the top of it, and this I got off Etsy. I will link everything down below so that you can find everything if you are looking for something similar. 2 girls for the top of the cake, and it was basically what we looked like. So this one is supposed to be me in the wedding dress with my hair down, and this one is Daisy in her beautiful, like, suited up with her hair down as well. I think it's so cute. Another thing we got from Etsy was our guest book, our wedding guest book. It says Alanah and Daisy on it, and then the back it says Forever and Always with the date. And this is just where everyone could sign while they were there. I want to do something like along the same lines, but with pictures. So I'm going to like make an album, like a wedding album or something like that. We got this off Etsy, and you could do custom stuff on it. So you could use like, you could do different metallic or different fonts and stuff. They have tons of options. I will link this down below. Last but not least, I will talk about our vendors other than the rental services that I was telling you about for like the chairs and tables and all that. We used Thumbtack for most of it. I got a bartender off Thumbtack and they were really great. It was an open bar and they did all of the alcohol, wine and beer. They just didn't include champagne. You could include champagne, but we already had tons of bottles of champagne, so we were just gonna use those. And then we also got our officiant off Thumbtack. We also found, well, I found months before when I was planning our engagement, I found a planner for that, and she was also a wedding planner and day of coordinator for a wedding. So we used the same girl who did the engagement. She did all of our day of coordinating for the wedding, and honestly it was so helpful because she kind of like herded everyone to where we needed to go at certain times. So as soon as the ceremony was over, then she made sure everyone knew that it was cocktail hour so they can get a drink and chill instead of like going straight into dinner. So she kind of like made sure everything flowed throughout the night, and it was so much fun, and she did a great job. And like I said, I found her on Thumbtack as well. I'll link her down below. She is amazing. And then for food, we got super lucky. Again, like I said, if you're planning a wedding, ask around, see who you know, because people want to help you. And so Daisy's manager's family actually has a restaurant and a catering business, so we got to use them for that, and it really helped out, making it super easy to like figure things out with food, because that was one thing that we were like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna figure out which caterers we want to use? We looked at their menu and it was perfect. It was exactly what we wanted, and it was super easy to communicate with them because we already had like a contact and everything. The food was so good, guys. Like, I think that's one thing I regret, is not like actually eating my whole plate and then like making a pile of food for the next day. I wish I did, because the food was so good. That was how we planned our wedding. If you guys have any questions about wedding planning, you can leave them down below. I don't know everything about wedding planning, but I did plan a whole wedding. It was just small. So I can help you out if you have any questions. You can leave them down below. I would say my biggest tip is let your friends and family help you. Like, we had so much help, and it made it so like smooth and easy because everyone was willing to like put a hand in and help out. Definitely get a day of coordinator, and I think that'll help you so much because they can take the load off of your plate. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was helpful if you're planning a wedding or if you're just curious. And yeah, I'll leave all of the links down below, like where we picked things out and stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.